With graduation measures, we talked about this a little bit before. The Board of Regents is prepared, or the State Ed Department is actually prepared to come to the Board of Regents in November with the rollout plan of changing how kids can demonstrate readiness to earn a diploma. As I mentioned before, a couple of the categories there include no longer requiring the passing of Regents exams to graduate, so they'll still be given as an option, but this won't be required. There'll be other ways to earn your diploma for that. Portrait of a graduate will be a key part of that. Other school districts will have to determine ways to for students to demonstrate that they are competent and are proficient in those different attributes in that portrait of a graduate component as well. The state's going to go to one diploma. We have like a Regents diploma, local diploma, so we're going to have one diploma. Kids can still earn seals of achievement on it, seal like biliteracy, a seal of civic responsibility and such as well, but they'll go to one diploma instead of several. For that. So those are kind of the biggies. And they're also, again, still waiting to find out, there could be also some different ways to earn credits, where now you go and you get a math credit, you get a science credit. Right? Like we think there's going to be, like, you can get a STEM credit, so that could be an option for schools to do things in that regard. So it's a lot of changes, and then of course the other piece is, when will those things start to go into effect? Like which class will it impact first is certainly the big question that everybody will be waiting on. So at the November Board of Regents meeting, a lot of this should be communicated out, which I'll come back and share with you once I find out from everybody. So, excuse me. So this a big thing. As I said, it's a 150-year tradition changing here in New York State in that regard, and it's certainly going to be a focus of not just here, CA, but all the schools across the state, because it's really, like I said, it's a kind of a transformational change on how we operate as a school district. So, so that'll certainly be talked about a lot here at board meetings in the next couple of years. At the same time, within the last couple of weeks, State Ed put out a directive for regionalization studies to be done. And I shared with you the folder, the materials I've received already for this, and it's trying to bring this into a small chunk of information. We have to go in and data dive into all of our recent data, performance data, attendance data, clubs, activities, sports teams we offer, everything we basically do as a school that we offer to students, and put that on, input it in to the portal, if you will, and then everybody does that, and we get together as a region, it's basically by BOCES, and we discuss what we offer and what everybody else offers, and come up with a conceptual plan of how we can make sure all kids have, minimally, have access to the basics of a good education, and how we could share courses, opportunities, etc. It's not a reorganization. It's not like merging school districts or anything, but it's a regionalization approach. It's kind of like, well, like we do now with BOCES, really, is what it is. But now it'd be between schools as opposed to through BOCES necessarily. So examples is we have kids from Catskill coming here for special ed service. That would be an example of regionalization, on a small scale. But distance learning would probably be, which we already do, will be probably a big part of this. But it's I'll just use the word force district leaders to get into rooms and come up with plans when state aid does not keep up with costs and other foreseeable things that could be happening in the near future here. The reason the state ed is doing this is to help inform the state government side of things, as they're also in the process, the governor, of looking at the foundation aid formula in New York State. And where that could go, none of it's probably good for CA. So what will we do basically when the money runs out? That's what it's about. I'm just being kind of blunt here about that part. For that, how can we continue to offer the things we do, in that situation? And we're fortunate that we do offer a lot here for our kids, a lot of opportunities and such. And how will we do that regionally and help each other out. So it's kind of having this conversation now, which is a good thing, before we're in the middle of it. Before we have another 2008, recession, or 2020, or the governor, saying he's going to cut aid, in the middle of the year kind of thing. So this is all happening now. As you can see, the timeline is basically have this all done before December. So it's just a lot of administrative kind of stuff going on here. I just want you to be aware of that, so you know that. But you're going to hear about it, I'm sure, in the papers and such like that. Any questions on that? Like I said, I'll keep that folder in your updates. If you're having trouble falling asleep, you can go in there and look and see all the stuff we're having to do for it. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, again, I always make lemonade out of lemons. Find some good things to come out of it, and if anything, more offerings and more opportunities for kids should come out of this. So. And we're fortunate in our Questar region to have a superintendent group that's not parochial. They really like to work together, so it's a good thing.
Brady, how time consuming is that project going to be? And who will be
I told Maureen I'll see her in December.
Huh? Be on the administrative level?
Yes,
or?
yeah, pretty much all administrative level. So, well, some of it will thankfully be able to be pulled, so to speak, like tech people, like NARIC will do that, Regional Information will be able to pull some of our data out for us, for all the schools. But we just have to verify it, we have to make sure it's there. There's a lot of stuff that we just have to, like sports teams is an example, clubs, we have to put all that information in. Which foreign languages do we offer? I'm just trying to think, some of the different things they're looking for. How many college classes do we offer? AP classes, or those types of things do we offer? So it's soup to nuts of everything that goes on in school that we have to put it, and then we'll get a report, if you will, and we'll be able to see who does what and where the gaps are as a region goes. So, and it's just, again, it's not a force. It's not like you have to do something. It's like, oh, we got to now make sure everybody takes French or something like that. But it's a way for schools and regions to hopefully continue to provide quality education for all kids. So this is huge for some of us. We're fairly rural, but definitely like the North Country, for those areas. Long Island, they're not going to be doing much with this because, it's in a different boat. They're bigger and such like that. They can offer those things even with budget cuts. So. Just a reminder, homecoming is the week of October, or at least technically September 30th to the 5th. All right, so that'll be coming up, and we'll get information out once I receive that. So, and that's all I have. I want to thank Dr. Houlihan. I know it's not the first thing you want to have to deal with when you come into high school. With this, I think we have to communicate to the kids the why, right? For any change in that regard. I also think it's good, like, and Carrie mentioned it. We're not going full in here. We could have gone the bag route. So we are trusting you to hold on to the phones because I understand. I mean, even just knowing I could get to my phone if I had to could lessen the anxiety for some of our kids. I think for that and
they can. And they can, correct?
Yes. Well, such as.
It's not in a bag or anything, so they can. It's not.
It's still on their personal belongings.
Yeah.
As long as they keep it away, but I mean.
Yeah, out of sight.
They can feel it vibrate if it's a parent in an emergency. I would assume like that's good, right?
Well, yeah, we have to educate our parents not to be texting your kid.
How's English?
Third, fourth, how's English going, and how's and that stuff, because there's a lot of it. I say it, a lot of it's the adults texting in, so to speak, to their kids, so they have to stop to.
Well, it sounds like it'll be a problem, educational.
Yep. Yeah, I asked tech service to put together some TSAs on like how to turn your notifications off. So a lot of people know how to do that. So. All right. Last topic, and I don't know how much, I know we talked about maybe use a chunk of time for the the presentation meeting in October for this, but I just wanted to update it after Tara's feedback, and some other people gave some feedback. So you have the sheet in front of you there. So just trying to synthesize there. What was talked about at the board retreat in the summer is a little bit about, what are you looking for? I think the three big themes, and, you want performance to go up, you want all our kids to feel, and adults feel welcome here, and we want to continue to work on being transparent with the community and making sure the community knows the whys, whether it's a capital project or the phone ponds, whatever it might be. So I, thought those are kind of the three buckets, if you will. As far as for the board priorities here in the coming year. What those look like, I think that's, I think for more discussion, and, so you can make sure that they're all on there, that's what you want to look for.
Is it one side or the other? Or
Both
is it
sides,
Both sides.
hopefully. I don't,
Well, if it's both sides, almost always on here. If it's just one side, I was like, well.
So we'll be talking about this more in October.
At the October presentation meeting, yep. Just so you can, zero in on it. And, the admin will be there.
Pardon?
Yeah, the admin will be there as well to help.
Okay, that was my other question.
Yep.
I know we've talked about that, but we missed that
Yep.
meeting where we were all together with the admin. But that was important. Especially at the beginning of the year.
Now, Randy, months ago, you sent out questions for us to answer. I don't think everyone answered that email, correct?
Correct.
Right. So, my thought was, do we want to repurpose that again and send it out again and see if we can get more participation on answers to those questions?
I can do that, yep.
And I think that would help us all if we can see that information in advance from the school board members. And so when we sit down to get into this, we have, an understanding of what the other members are looking for.
And I think what would be helpful is if we could see what everybody is thinking, because I only, for example, knew what I was thinking, which was good,
Yep.
but I didn't know what anybody
Right.
else, so if we,
And I could put it in a different format so you could see it, like, not live, so to speak. So if you put a comment on the, I'll just call it on the board, then if Bart goes in 20 minutes later, he'll see your comment.
okay.
It's like, I could do it that way if everybody's okay with that. Only you will see it, nobody else. Like a Padlet, those of you who are. Do that. All right?
Hi. All right. I've got 4 things for you tonight. Insurance claim. We had a power blip in June. So you might be asking, why are we talking about this in September? We did have it in your weekly update, some of the things. We had asked the insurance company all along, please give us until the middle to end of September to file the formal claim with them, because over the summer a lot of devices go unused. And we wanted teachers to be able to get in their classrooms and staff to get back to their workstations and be able to power everything up and make sure that it's functioning properly. We are to that point now where I think we are prepared to submit a claim. We've got about $25,000 of materials that we have now replaced that we will be submitting for a claim. Utica National, our insurance company, has been working very well with us on this. On top of that, we did have damage done to the servers that operate our camera system. We do have loaner servers in right now. We went through a lot of back and forths of trying to get them fixed. We did elect to move on to a cloud-based camera system moving forward through Questar. The good news is not only is that purchase going to be aidable, but moving forward, all the license fees that we have to pay annually, like we have been, are now also through Questar, which is also aidable. So we are trying to really maximize our dollar in that transition. We do have cameras still. We have access to some of them, not every one of them. By the time that the full migration goes over to, I'm just going to call it the Questar program, the cloud-based cameras, we'll have access to everything that we had pre the power blip. So just a quick update on that. Any questions on that for me? Okay.
I want to thank Ryan and Tech Services, because that's
It's been a lot of arguing.
a lot of arguing back and forth.
There's a gentleman from Kentucky that does not like us very much, but he'll live. Policy 6050 has to do with our extra classroom activity funds. Upon review with our auditors, they did suggest we add language to it that allows for a backup person to sign deposits or withdrawals and or deposits in the event that school is not in session. Typically, that is a district treasurer or a clerk to the district treasurer. So we've identified 2 people in our district office who we think that would fit the mold there. If you guys would allow it, we did escalate that to the second reading just so it could be approved by October, which ironically is also when our auditors are coming in to give their presentation. Any questions on that? So I'm going to skip C for right now and then go straight to item D, the audit schedule. On October 15th, we will be meeting with the Finance Committee at 6 p.m. I know the agenda says 5 p.m. I did change that to 6 upon some request. We'll be meeting at 6 p.m. with the auditors. That is just the Finance Committee. That is the really getting into the weeds of the audit, really asking the questions, a deep dive into it. 2 days later at the regular Board of Education meeting on the 17th, the auditors come and give a general overview of what they do, what their purpose is, what the findings were, so on and so forth. So are there any?
What's the date?
October 15th and October 17th.
It says 4. It says April.
Oh, okay, I will change that. Thank you. Yes, I'll do that. Okay. And that is all I had. I did have a shout out for our custodians. They've done an awesome job. I think the list of projects that we got through this summer is incredible. Just what they've been able to do. I give them a lot of credit for all their efforts, as well as I do want to give a shout out to our food service department for all of their efforts this summer and getting our community fed during the summer months. Thank you.